Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Chat English. I'm Mia.
And I'm Ben. Really glad you're here with us today.
Ben, before we dive in, how are you actually feeling? You looked a little rough last week.
I did, didn't I? I had a cold, nothing serious, but I made the mistake of trying to describe my symptoms to a pharmacist here in America, and it did not go well.
What happened?
So I walk in, I find the pharmacist, and I say, I've got a bit of a dodgy chest, and she just stared at me, completely blank.
Dodgy chest.
Which in British English means my chest feels a bit off, a bit uncomfortable, completely normal thing to say. Here, apparently not.
Here, you'd say tightness in my chest or my chest feels heavy. Dodgy is not a medical term we use.
I know that now. I stood there for a good 10 seconds while she processed what I'd said. Eventually, I just pointed at my chest and said, "It hurts here," and we moved on.
Which honestly is a perfectly valid communication strategy.
Survival English at its finest.
So, today's topic, the doctor's office. And I think this is genuinely one of the most important episodes we'll do, because going to the doctor in a second language is not just about vocabulary. It's about being able to describe how your body feels clearly enough that someone can actually help you.
And the stakes are higher than a restaurant or an airport. You need to be understood precisely.
So, we're going to give you every phrase you need, from making the appointment to walking out with a prescription. Let's go.
First, making the appointment. In America, you almost always call ahead or book online. If you call, the receptionist will say, "Thank you for calling. What's the reason for your visit today?"
You don't need to explain everything. Just give one clear sentence. Say this out loud. I'd like to make an appointment, please. Try it again. I'd like to make an appointment, please.
Or, if it's more urgent, I need to be seen as soon as possible. Say it clearly. I need to be seen as soon as possible.
And they'll ask about your symptoms. A symptom is how your body feels, what's wrong. The most useful opening sentence, I haven't been feeling well for a few days. Out loud, I haven't been feeling well for a few days.
Repeat after me. This one covers almost everything. I haven't been feeling well for a few days. Simple, clear, gets you in the door.
Can I tell you about the first time I had to go to a doctor abroad? I was in London, first year living there, and I got a pretty bad ear infection.
Oh no.
I go to the GP, that's what they call it in the UK, general practitioner, the regular doctor, and she asks me to describe the pain. And I said, it really hurts. And she said, can you be more specific? And I just went blank.
Because it really hurts is not specific.
At all. And I realized I had no vocabulary for pain. I didn't know how to describe the type of pain, the location, the intensity. I knew it hurts, and that was it.
Which is actually really common. Pain vocabulary is something nobody teaches you. You only need it when you're already feeling terrible.
Exactly the worst time to learn new words. So let's learn them now while we're feeling fine. Doctors will ask you to describe your pain in 3 ways. First, where. Second, what type. Third, how bad on a scale of 1 to 10.
Location first. Say these out loud. Point to the place on your body as you say it. I have a pain in my chest. My throat is sore. I have a headache. My stomach hurts. I have a pain in my lower back.
One more time, all 5. Point as you say them. I have a pain in my chest. My throat is sore. I have a headache. My stomach hurts. I have a pain in my lower back.
Now, type of pain. This is what really helps a doctor. Say each one out loud. It's a sharp pain, sudden, like a knife. It's a dull ache, constant, heavy, not sharp. It's a throbbing pain, pulsing, like a heartbeat. It's a burning sensation, like heat inside. It comes and goes, not constant, appears and disappears.
Repeat after me, the most useful one. It's a dull ache that comes and goes. Say it again. It's a dull ache that comes and goes. That one sentence tells a doctor so much.
The doctor will also ask, how long have you had this? Time phrases. Say these out loud. It started 2 days ago. I've had it for about a week. It started suddenly this morning. It's been getting worse. It's been getting better, but it's still there.
And the question that always comes, are you taking any medication? Say both possible answers. I'm not taking anything at the moment, or I'm taking ibuprofen for the pain. Out loud, both. I'm not taking anything at the moment. I'm taking ibuprofen for the pain. Let's walk through the whole appointment. You're in the room. The doctor walks in and says, "So, what brings you in today?"
What brings you in means why are you here? What's the problem? The most natural answer, I've been having chest pains for 3 days. Say it. I've been having chest pains for 3 days.
Or, I have a fever and a sore throat. Out loud. I have a fever and a sore throat.
The doctor will examine you and ask questions. Common ones, say the answers. Does it hurt when I press here? Yes, that's exactly where it hurts. Or, no, the pain is slightly higher.
Have you had this before? Yes, I had something similar last year. Or, no, this is the first time.
Any allergies to medication? Repeat after me, important. I'm allergic to penicillin. Or, no known allergies. Say both clearly. I'm allergic to penicillin. No known allergies.
And at the end, the doctor gives you their conclusion. They might say, I'm going to prescribe you something. Prescribe means give you a prescription, a paper that lets you get medicine from a pharmacy. Say this if you don't understand. Could you explain that again, please? And this if you want to be clear about next steps. Should I come back if it doesn't improve? Out loud. Should I come back if it doesn't improve?
That one question, so useful. Say it one more time. Should I come back if it doesn't improve?
There's something I want to say about going to the doctor in a second language because I think it's important.
Go ahead.
It's vulnerable. Going to the doctor is already vulnerable. You're not feeling well. You might be scared. You're in an unfamiliar environment. And then you add a language barrier on top of that. It's a lot.
It really is. And I think people underestimate how much courage it takes to walk into a medical setting and try to communicate in a language that isn't yours.
But here's what I've learned. Doctors are trained to listen. A good doctor will slow down for you, will ask again, will rephrase. You just have to be willing to say, I'm not sure how to describe this in English.
Which is itself a brave and useful sentence. Say it out loud. I'm not sure how to describe this in English. Say it again without apology. I'm not sure how to describe this in English.
That sentence opens a door every time, and the doctor's job is to walk through it with you.
Final round. Everything from today. Out loud. No stopping. I'd like to make an appointment, please. I haven't been feeling well for a few days. I have a pain in my chest. My throat is sore. It's a dull ache that comes and goes. It started 2 days ago. I'm not taking anything at the moment. No known allergies. Should I come back if it doesn't improve? I'm not sure how to describe this in English.
One more time, faster. Own every one. I'd like to make an appointment, please. I haven't been feeling well for a few days. I have a pain in my chest. My throat is sore. It's a dull ache that comes and goes. It started 2 days ago. I'm not taking anything at the moment. No known allergies. Should I come back if it doesn't improve? I'm not sure how to describe this in English.
Those are yours, every single one. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Take care of yourselves.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.